Welcome to round 5 of the Nebula 2016 Championship. We are here in Monte Carlo for the Monaco Grand Prix, the shortest lap on the calendar with some of the most technical corners and unforgiving barriers. In qualifying, it was Tom Martinez who put his car on pole with a 1:16.0 and over 2/10 quicker than Baxter, who starts alongside him. The rest of the top 5 were the only drivers to set times, with Kraus, Davison, and Shepard separated by nearly 1.2 seconds. Rounding out the rest of the top 10, it's Bondo, Wilmer, Poulsen, Bracke, and Amin, while Carpenter had a back-of-grid penalty. On the grid, as the lights went green, there was a jump start from Kraus, which resulted in a drive-through penalty and allowed Davison and Shepard into 3rd and 4th respectively, while Carpenter had a flying start, moving all the way up to 7th. At Casino, Baxter went deep and had to go defensive against Davison. Poulsen made a dive at the hairpin on Bracke, and Martinez extended his gap at the front. By the end of the first lap, Martinez still led, and Carpenter was now up to 6th position after starting dead last on the grid. Things weren't going so great for Shepard, though, as he caught a tank slapper at the exit of the final corner, sending him into the Armco. One lap later, it was the Renault of Wilmer who was struggling to keep traction, and Carpenter made easy work of him, moving up to P5. On the very next lap, Baxter struggled with a box full of neutrals coming out of the swimming pool section, sending him into the barrier and destroying the Ferrari's front wing, forcing an early pit stop. The Force India of Davison also spun right behind Baxter and followed him into the pits. The Ferrari came out in P9 with the Force India a bit further down the field. Lap 4, and Baxter begins his charge back through the field with Boswida's Manor as his first victim. Lap 5 now, and Davison's race goes from bad to worse as he DNFs from P12. A couple of laps later, and Baxter set his sights on his next target, getting the better of Amin for 7th. Later that same lap, Martinez pit from the lead and rejoined in 3rd position with a fresh set of Supersofts. With the benefit of new rubber, Martinez made quick work of Poulsen, who was still out on his first stint. On lap 10, Kraus came upon Bracke, and with new tires on his McLaren, he made quick work of the Red Bull. Lap 11 now, and Carpenter finally makes his first stop and rejoins in 3rd position behind Martinez and Poulsen. A little later, and Bracke's day also went into decline as a spin lost him 2 positions, followed by a retirement not long after. Lap 14, the Haas of Bonden came under attack from Craig Baxter. The Ferrari made the move stick, and then Bonden crashed not long after. End of lap 19, and once again Martinez is in the pits for a new set of Supersofts, and Carpenter inherits the lead. 9 laps later, Martinez's pace was too much for Carpenter, and he reclaimed what was rightfully his as Carpenter struggled with his worn tires. After being overtaken, Carpenter decided to try and undercut Martinez, pitting at the end of that very same lap. Martinez stayed out a few extra laps knowing he'd been undercut already, instead opting for a set of ultra soft tires for his final stint in the hopes that he can make the overtake on circuit. Lap 35 and Martinez has caught the back of Carpenter, but since it's Monaco, he's having a hard time finding an overtaking location. On the penultimate lap, it seemed like Martinez might get his chance at Tabac, but thought better of it. Martinez was clearly pushing hard as he made light contact with the barrier, but Carpenter was struggling on his older tires. As the white flag fell, Martinez turned up the wick and applied heaps of pressure to Carpenter, but Sam was composed and calm as he claimed victory, with Martinez spinning at the final corner and limping across the line in second position and with just 3 wheels on his car. In the end, Baxter claimed third despite his early race spin and resulting pit stop, while Kraus and Poulsen can be satisfied with finishing on the lead lap. Shepard and Amin round out the last of the finishers in 6th and 7th respectively. In the championship, Baxter's lead is cut down to just 25 points thanks to Carpenter's win, which puts him level on points with Chadwick. And Martinez narrowly closed the gap down to Kraus in the battle for 4th in the standings. Ferrari continues to lead the Constructors' Championship with Mercedes just 25 points adrift, while Force India and McLaren are just 2 points apart. This concludes the highlights for the Nebula 2016 Monaco Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time from the Red Bull Ring in Austria.